Has he actually done shit himself? What? Or has he always just had people around him that would do things on his behalf or do things around him, and he kind of took credit for it to a certain degree?
But Durk was the muscle at first. That's why he kept going to jail.
I forgave my brother Killer, but I understand. I understand what y'all going.
Oh yeah, we're back with another episode of The Twisted Tea, where we come to bring you the news with a twist. And today, we'll be bringing you an update on Lil Durk. As we've seen recently, Lil Durk was arrested in a murder for hire plot. Now, from recent events, the feds have flown Lil Durk from Florida to California, where he's being charged.
Durk Banks, more commonly known as rapper Lil Durk, charged with murder for hire.
But I love all you young niggas in here. I mean that shit. I love you niggas, man, and I hope y'all make it out.
Like, you lost your mans, nigga, what you gonna do? He's fighting with that and he's getting money. Now, he's trying to turn the leaf. I'm with this Muslim stuff, I'm with this, but it's always the demons that's on your shoulder, like.
He pleaded not guilty for conspiracy, murder for hire, and firearm charges. Lil Durk has hired an all-star cast of lawyers. They have pushed for a right to speedy trial. What other evidence may or may not have popped up in the last few days? When will he be going to court? Oh yeah, we're gonna dive into all that information right now. Lil Durk has entered a plea statement of not guilty and went out his way to hire several high-profile lawyers.
Yeah, boy.
One of the biggest names on his list being Drew Findling. And boy, did these high-profile lawyers get to work, as they started right away in knocking things off and speeding up the timeline so the feds would have a little bit more pressure on them.
Yeah, boy.
With this speed up in timelines, they have pushed for his trial to start January 7th of 2025. That's right.
Check your text search. My phone been dead for a week. Check your net worth. 3 million. I spent that shit in Uber Eats. I know I'm past it, but I get mad when they say I don't do shit for the streets.
Now, Lil Durk does have a hearing coming up for a possibility of bond. In the feds, is probably unlikely.
Nope.
And they probably will say that he's a flight risk. I believe most parties involved handed over their passports except for OTF Didi.
What?
That doesn't help the situation, stating that he lost his. And several pre-trial things will start to take place here in November and December, as both Lil Durk and Didi, OTF Didi, that's right, are on their way to speedy trials. It seems like all of the lawyers are on the same page with what they're trying to do, as they are not trying to allow for the feds to continue to attempt to collect evidence or build a case. You see, the feds have even went out their way to pull up Lil Durk's lyrics. That's right.
Well, Jesse, obviously, one of the things that's been synonymous with drill music, and specifically this one, you mentioned earlier that they're going to use some of his lyrics in one of his songs against him. The investigators have to really be careful.
In the superseding indictment, it states, following the attempted murder of TB and the murder of SR, defendant Banks sought to commercialize SR's death by rapping about his revenge on TB with music that explicitly referenced audio from a news clip taken shortly after SR's murder, where TB screamed, "No, no," after seeing SR's dead body. Told me they got an Addy, got location, go, go, green light, go, go, go. Look on the news and see your son, you screaming, no, no.
I don't know if they will or won't be able to use them, but they definitely pulled them up.
girls with choppers. I'm not having them, no, we crash.
Whether or not he is or isn't talking about Rondo,
to make sure that their timeline of when the song was released and these events line up, because it could be talking about a shooting, but now you run across the issue of making sure that it's this specific shooting and not some other shooting.
Yeah, boy.
so they would have to prove that that is the exact thing that he is discussing in his song. With Lil Durk's lawyers using the right to speedy trial, it forces the government to release everything that they have. Or at least that's what the judge is making them do. Prosecution needs to hurry up and put in their information and submit all evidence. That's right.
Yeah, boy.
The prosecution needs to go ahead and submit all evidence in order for the defense to start to do their job. The problem here is going to be where the prosecution is probably going to go out and state they can't release what they have, because if they do release this vital information, it may pose a problem in their case.
Is he actually done shit himself?
Yeah,
Or has he
boy.
always just had people around him that would do things on his behalf or do things around him, and he kind of took credit for it to a certain degree?
But Durk was the muscle at first. That's why he kept going to jail.
For what?
He went to jail for, like, look up Durk's pistol cases and all that. Like, Durk had, like, run-ins with the law from 2012, 11, all the way up until maybe like 15 or something like that.
What this ends up doing is doesn't give them the timeline that the prosecution would like to continue to build the
Yeah,
case.
boy.
Now, if they do not hand over any of the information after the judge requests that they do hand it over, then, well, things are a little bit different. Now, Durk's Supreme Team, Drew Findling, defended Trump against racketing and 12 other charges. He has represented the Migos, Gucci Mane, Cardi B, in her Las Vegas incident where the microphone slipped off stage where she threw it, and her strip club incident where she got into the fights back in 2018.
Nope.
You know, when she got into the fight over Offset in the club. Guess who was there to save the day? Drew. That's right. And he was also the YFN Lucci lawyer. Young Dolph went out there to state that he was the billion dollar lawyer. Oh yeah. And with that, even the celebrities, a lot of them have stated, especially 50 Cent, went on to state that he thought that that was a very sharp move on Durk's part to hire him as a lawyer, and that, well, his chances started to look a little bit better.
He
Right,
did
his
stay
dad was
on
locked up
Lamb
the whole time. I know about that.
Yeah. And he made it through, though. What I'm saying is he lived over there in them trenches. He didn't have the money on that. You know what I mean? Wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? And he made it out. He was smart enough to navigate through Chicago.
Throughout this, Lil Durk's album was supposed to drop, and now it has been pushed back. Not really much of a surprise, but there was a little bit of leakage of that too.
Touch a trip, be wildin' with. Check your text merch. My phone been dead for a week. Check your net worth, 3 million. I spent that shit in Uber Eats. I know I'm past it, but I get mad when they say I don't do shit for the streets. I pay cash and I feel good to do it. I grew up off Link. I like my Zans blue, my purse white, my Sprite Easter pink. I was salty with Newski pants, so I can imagine what he think. I got a cousin in JoJo world, so I can imagine what he think. I'm so cool like CJ, I couldn't tell a DJ play some ting. I'm so happy I'm fully focused. I had to slow down off the drink. I was in Cleveland Clinic. I almost met up with God for the week. The same.
Lil Durk even had a little bit of time on his hands to make a phone call. Let's check it out.
Mama. Hey, I know you in that bitch with your feet kicked up. I'm telling you. This is like, I already know. Come on. Hey. This is like, if you need me, you know it's good, man. I got something. I said, I know you're a rich ass nigga, but if you need anything, you know I got you.
You know, I appreciate it. You know, that counts here.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know how that shit be, bro. It don't matter, bro. We ain't never moved our money. Except for that first time. Once it was that, it was that. Once it was like then, it was everything was his money.
You know, I still got things to say. I came up and like, shit, what you trying? What you got going? I'm enjoying it.
Man, what? Fuck a bitch. Hey. Hey, I respect your mom forever. Fuck a piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, man, you know you, man, send me upstairs. Whatever it is, I got to tap to you.
Man, that's crazy. You and never blood. That's my niggas.
Yeah, no, you got it. Hit this motherfucker kick me. That was motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
As he said, he's out here in Gen Pop. Now, a little bit of a recap. As of November 14th, 2024, these are the things that have taken place with Lil Durk.
You think that he knew this was coming, so that's why he started embracing the whole Muslim thing, and he knew that if he goes to the feds, he'd probably go with a Muslim card?
Now, as of November 14th, 2024, Lil Durk has a bond case coming up on December 12th. His case is scheduled for January 7th of 2025 after it went on and moved for right to speedy trial. We just wanted to bring you a couple of things and keep you updated. Hey, thank you for tuning into the Twisted Tea, where we come to bring you the news with a twist.
His dad came home, he got him on his thing.
Okay.
I feel like his dad was locked in with the Muslim stuff to where it was like, this what we doing, this how you go.
It just seemed like recently, the last few months, he's going extra hard. He's wearing the robes.
Now, the extra giving back to the community and all that, now that you see the charges that's trumped up against him, like, shit, maybe, but...
At a concert, we shouted out his ops and, you know, trying to push the peace thing. And
that was his last concert.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he thinking that they was trying to, I mean, but he did start trying to push peace probably about, what was that, 6-7 months ago?